didn't touch you. Shut the up. Give me my keys.
You just give her.
Get the out my.
If there's one thing we've learned from the internet, it's that cameras don't lie, which makes it pretty awkward when someone treats valet workers like trash and then acts shocked when the internet rolls the footage. So, what really happened? On January 28th, 2025, this lady right here was asked to pay for her valet, but she had forgotten to get her ticket validated. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Despite saying she's rich and looking down on the workers, she wasn't particularly happy about spending $50. A measly $50, I might add, since she claims to be so rich. And since she didn't want to pay, well, this happened.
What did you say again about us getting kicked out?
You're a
What else?
got it.
What else?
Just doing good things. You guys rich people.
Yeah.
You guys rich people.
Right?
Take your $50 and suck. Give me my change. I'm rich. You're poor. Difference.
You're a poor soul.
Yep. Poor.
You're a poor soul.
Dá a chave dela, deixa a chave dela, deixa eu ver.
Não, joga o carro dela lá na casa do
You
cara.
wanna record me? Record me? Shut the I didn't touch you. Shut the up. Give me my keys.
You just give her.
Get the out my.
Yeah, she just cursed them out, throwing racial slurs and referencing one of those infamous uses of the R and K word. Unfortunately for her, a bystander captured everything and uploaded this whole spectacle on Instagram. And let's just say things have spiraled downhill faster than she probably expected. First, thanks to our internet investigators, she was identified as Florence Mirsky, aka Miss Flojo, the owner and founder of coconugs.com. Here is her official Instagram account. And here is her website, coconugs.com. And hey, we've seen enough of these situations to know exactly how this was going to end. The comments were far from great, and her business has been forced to take a halt. I mean, just look at the reviews on Trustpilot. That's what happens when you run a business where you're the face of the brand and decide to act like a Karen. So, of course, like any Karen that gets a taste of their consequences, she pulls out the victim card, explaining what she called her side of the story. I know right now, guys, you may not understand, and I understand how bad it looks. The man that was walking behind me in the video groped me, then tried to flip it on me when I went crazy on him. Unfortunately, I have past trauma and manic episodes that I suffer with every day. That's why I called them rapes and murders. I felt violated. Everyone that knows me knows I have a big heart and love for everyone. I come from immigrant parents as well. Mental health issues are real, and I didn't mean to hurt anyone. Broken heart emoji. Now let's take a look at the video following this statement.
Comments. I left my house yesterday in PJs, as you can tell, looking crazy. And when I was walking out of a scrub, the valet guy grabbed my ass, and I should have just punched about my child and not wanting to go to jail. So I lashed out and I called him a whack, and I'm so wrong for that, but I felt so violated. I should have just shut my mouth, called the police, and that's it. So basically, I'm explaining to everybody, I am sorry for what I said. I've been around Mexicans, dated Mexicans my whole life. My parents are immigrants. I am the farthest thing from race possible.
So Florence here, in her side of the story, claims that the reason she reacted the way she did was because of one of these valet guys sexually assaulting her by grabbing her posterior. This is a very serious claim right here, even though it still doesn't warrant the racial slur she made. But hey, you never really know how someone will react to an assault, right? Well, that might be true if Florence wasn't actually twisting the story to fit her own narrative. I know, very surprising. Here is the juicy part. The bystander who actually recorded and posted this incident on Instagram returned to the valet spot to confirm these claims.
In front of the restaurant, the valet where that occurred, and I asked the valet if they heard about it and what they think happened, and the consensus was that if she actually was assaulted, that there would be footage of it on the cameras, and that there's other cameras here if that were to have been the case. You'd also have to imagine if she was yelling at them and being as really heinous as she was, why wouldn't she have mentioned that she was just assaulted? You'd have to imagine she would have mentioned that. Instead, she said epithets and slurs. It said that it was right and they're all right. R words. I'm not buying it.
Well, I'm not buying that either. Yes, knowing as upset as she was, she definitely would have mentioned that she was serious at some point during the whole ordeal. On top of that, this person's camera suggestion was the final piece that completed the puzzle. So now we can finally find out whether the valet guy actually her or if she's just making it all up. At this point, Florence is probably thinking about those cameras too, so she decided to head back to the valet spot and apologize.
Made a with my mouth. I'm the farthest thing from race. Like, is this what you guys wanted from me? You guys are affecting everybody in my life right now. Like, I am taking accountability. Like, please, enough. I'm going to apologize to the man that grabbed my. I don't even care what the guy did to me. At least let's be honest. I'm apologizing to you, please. So you accept my apology and then what? But you know what the guy did. He's not even here today. But why? I know, but you know what the guy did to me. So please, at least be real. I'm the farthest thing from possible. I told you, you're a good-looking guy with green eyes. Do you think I have any weight? All my partners are Spanish, Vietnamese, everything. Can you at least admit what the guy did to me, please? Can you admit what the guy did?
The license plate 255.
Can you admit what the guy did, please? At least that. Just admit what the guy did, please. Just admit it, please. Please, they're gonna show the cameras. You guys are gonna look crazy.
But something still isn't adding up, because sure, Florence is apologizing, but she's also doubling down on her claim that one of the valet guys grabbed her ass. And she's not just insisting, she's begging one of them on camera to admit that she was sexually assaulted. It's pretty clear what's going on here. She knows the CCTV footage will expose her, so she's trying to force a confession. That way, when the footage drops, she can at least point to the valet's admission as some kind of defense. Now, we've got two separate issues on our hands: racial abuse and a serious accusation of sexual assault. They're not mutually exclusive, but somehow Florence wants one to exist without the other. And let's not forget, she's doing all this while claiming she's definitely not racist. Indeed, Florence is not racist. She is much more than that. Much worse. And don't take my word for it. Check out these comments and messages from people who've had their own run-ins with Miss Flojo. I had a run-in with this woman a few months ago at my gym. She said a bunch of homophobic and racist stuff to me. So this doesn't surprise me at all. This is just who she is. Have seen her do the same at my gym. It was insane. She tried to fight me and the valet at BLVD in Sherman Oaks. She is an angry, miserable, and disgusting human. Yep, looks like the lady who assaulted me at the Erewhon parking lot for wearing my keffiyeh on May 13th, 2024. She also had a lawsuit that she made claiming she was raped at the W Hotel, which she lost. Even TikTok user @TizzyENT wasn't having any of it.
I think she wants us to believe that she's the furthest thing from racist and not to split hairs. But if we're talking degrees of not racist, the furthest thing, like the farthest out, doesn't ever use a slur. Ever. That would be the furthest. Not saying you're a full-blown racist like 24/7, but let's find some middle ground here.
Anyway, an update surfaced that Florence has been banned from valet service locations, and the police showed up during her dramatic apology tour. Probably someone called them this time, and they are now aware of the situation.
Here's an update from a reliable source. It says she has been banned from the location they service and potentially the restaurant as well. Apparently, the police showed up during her little apology tour and are very much aware of the situation. This is what's happened since.
With the police now involved, everyone was hoping the truth would finally come out, but before it even got to that point, Florence decided, you know what? I'm just gonna come clean. So she was granted a live interview with an Instagram user who had been reporting the case since the beginning at Mr. Checkpoint.
I want to actually start with the first thing. There was like an allegation made of a assault.
I made a fucking mistake. Like, farthest thing since, like, is this like everybody in my life right now? No, but you know what the guy did to me.
Right?
Correct.
Can we just be clear right from the beginning? Did that happen?
Yeah, so it did not happen. What happened was I was in the car and my girlfriend called me and she's like, what do you happen? And she's like, just, I don't know, just say something that bad happened that you had to do that. Quick and erased it. And I guess the internet picked it up. It was like awful because I didn't realize, like I said, when if God forbid somebody would have called me, I would have told them that never occurred, but how it could affect somebody. Something did occur, but it was never a reason for me to go as crazy as I went.
Following the interview, she made a few story posts openly admitting that no one grabbed her posterior and that she lied to save face. I love Mexicans and all people of colors and religion. I did what I could today and to apologize to the two men that did nothing to me. I am in a calm state of mind and I know I'm the farthest thing to a rapist. Just a spoiled brat with a dirty mouth. And that's the realest I can be. Sorry, everyone. And again, in another entirely different interview, Florence was asked point blank if any of the valets assaulted her, and she said no.
The guy touch you or did he not touch you?
The guy did not touch me.
So why did you say that?
Because I was frantic and I didn't know what to do because of the fact that I did something
So yes, we now have the truth. There was no assault. She lied, and now she's taking full accountability for her actions. Mind you, accountability, not consequences. Because another Instagram user who hosted the second episode of the interview called this out directly, and she was too astounded to deny it.
I never, ever meant anything I said. I never meant one word I said. I don't know how else to convince anybody. I would, if I could chop off my arm and convince somebody, I would.
Thank you.
I
Thank you. Okay,
can't.
let me just, I want to, thank you for saying that. Now let me,
It's so frustrating.
I want to highlight what you just said.
No problem.
If
No
I could
problem.
cut my arm off to convince you, I would, because what that means is I'll do anything if I could just get you to believe me, because this is about you. This is about you being, yes,
No,
it is.
it's
Yes,
not.
it is.
Oh.
It's about you being believed. It's about
I know what you're doing to me, and it's fine.
people that
It's
you
fine.
attack with blatant. You understand what's happening in this country right now? There are mass deportations happening by ICE across this country, and the way that those mass deportations have been justified is through the exact same rhetoric that you used in that video that we all saw. So I refuse to accept that it came from a place of ignorance, because you are very specific in your language. You use the same language that's been used to justify mothers and fathers being ripped away from their children, people being taken out of their workplace, people's wives being enslaved.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. They say that Jews kill Arabs and Hamas. That's how it all came about. They say different things. They say other people, other countries. I said, you guys are killers and rapists. What do they say about every country that goes to war?
Thank you. There's
Oh, I'm sorry. I've never in my life ever seen that in my entire life.
But you just coincidentally use the same language?
Yes, because that's what
And
people
this is
call
why we don't
people when
believe
they're
you.
at war.
I would believe you
my
if
God.
you were
Why would
coming
I-
from a place of honesty, but
But I'm only coming from a place of honesty.
In the middle of these exposés, Florence made her Instagram account private and locked her comment section to prevent further damage to her personal brand and business. But at this point, the damage was already done. And in a last-ditch effort to save what's left of the brand, her management team fired her and also stripped her of all of her shares in the company. Check the statement out here, released by the company. We at Cocoa Nugs do not tolerate racism. The statements made by Florence go against our policies and beliefs as a company and are not acceptable. We have cut all ties with her, and she has relinquished all shares within the company. Here's her letter of termination. I'm just going to leave it on the screen for a few seconds for those who would like to read it. And here's a continuation of the company's statement. We apologize for any pain and suffering caused by your actions. Cocoa Nugs is owned by a diverse group of individuals, including Latin Americans, Asian Americans, African Americans, and Caucasians, some of which are first-generation immigrants. We stand with and support all walks of life and will continue to do so. And with Florence officially fired from her own business, that pretty much wraps up this mess. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one.